Guys, welcome back to another episode on EI Entertainment Studios. Shin Godzilla vs. Palkia debate. Who is gonna win? Who is the true king of monsters? Even though he's not a kaiju, but let's just go with the flow. So we have some very special guests here. Go ahead and introduce yourselves before we begin.
Hey, Vamos. Not really, eh?
And Deagle Rants.
Deagle Rants, that's right. Okay, so to begin, what we'll do is first we'll give facts and weaknesses about Shin Godzilla. I will do that, and then facts and stuff about Palkia. Payvamas will do that, and Deagle Danny can also assist in that as well. Okay, so let's start off with Shin Godzilla. Basic facts about Shin Godzilla. He is a radiated monster. Now, I remember, now, Shin Godzilla isn't the original Godzilla, meaning his beginning source isn't Titanosaurus anymore. I remember it's something like a snail. Deaglerance, you know the more better name for it? You remember you said it? Yeah, it's something like that. Basically, he got mutated by nuclear radiation, therefore becoming this monster known as Shin Godzilla, which is known as a god incarnate. So basic facts would be he's 118 meters tall at its peak, which is his fourth form, which yet isn't his final form, as we'll get to that point later. So when he is at his peak, he reaches 118 meters. He has fire breath. It's like a laser, but most people argue that it's not a laser. But even though it sounds like a laser, he has this really huge boom of fire before he even does the laser. Also, he has lasers from his back and lasers from his tail. He has pretty much impenetrable skin, and he has protectional fish eye lids that can never be penetrated with fire or anything else that so far that needs to be proved by the upcoming movies. So for strengths, definitely strength is he's huge. He's one of the biggest Godzillas to date until Godzilla Earth came, but that's not part of the factor right now. So we're gonna go with he's the biggest real live action movie Godzilla to date. As of now, he seems to be one of the most strongest Godzillas. Some people do argue that 2014 can take him, but nah, I don't think so. After that, his weakness is he has a very big weakness, and I think Deagle Rants can actually agree with me on that, is that he gets tired way too quickly. I remember when he came out as his fourth form, after he had that one big scene getting those F-bombers out of the sky and just raging at Tokyo, he goes into a cooldown because his body has a radiation which can also connect to kind of like Burning Godzilla, because Burning Godzilla had radiation in his body. That was melting, but Shin Godzilla isn't melting. He has his fins or dorsal fins serve as coolers, and while he's cooling down, he needs to stay dormant for about, I think it was 3 weeks in the movie, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. Also, when he is not at his fourth form, his third form, the Turkey Godzilla, the third form, he needs to cool down by running into the ocean. So if he is fighting anyone at his third form, the fight is going to be cancelled or going to be going back into the sea, because I remember when his fins were all hot, he had to run back. So those are the weaknesses. But strengths, again, pretty much can fire lasers from everywhere, impenetrable skin, just all-out obnoxious monster, and pretty much can feel no pain. Okay, now we can go ahead and give you facts about Palkia. You guys can go ahead.
Alright, so Palkia was introduced in the 4th generation of Pokemon. It came out in the Diamond and Pearl series. It is, in the franchise at least, it is 13 feet tall, but if we compare it to real life, it would be around 100 feet. And in the series, it weighs about almost 740 pounds, but in real life, like I said, it would be triple the size of that. And it is a water dragon type, and it is pretty much the god of space. Its rival is Dialga, and he is the god of time. And I have an entry I would like to read about Palkia, if that's okay with you, Mr. EI.
No, go ahead.
Alright, so in the Platinum series, it says that the description of Palkia says a legendary Pokemon of Sinnoh. It is said that space becomes more stable with Palkia's every breath, and in Diamond it says that it has the ability to distort space. It is described as a deity in the Sinnoh region mythology. Now, what I would like to say is that Palkia is the god of space. Now, if you take that into consideration, space is pretty much what's holding this planet together. Like, now I know there's religion and stuff, but we're kind of not putting that into perspective right now. We are doing facts, and so what I would like to say is that if Palkia like dies, let's say, right, that means the entire space and the entire world itself is gone. There's no universe, there's nothing like that. And the reason why, should I get into why Palkia is better than Godzilla, or is that in the next section after that?
Well, we'll keep that, still keep that. Is there anything you want to add, Deagle?
Not particularly yet, no.
Okay,
Just
and
keep going.
just to give a time for real EA, before we start on the true analysis of the war between them, real EA, do you think Shin Godzilla would win or Palkia would win?
I think that Pacquiao would win if he's taller.
How tall is Palkia again?
In real life, he would be over 100 feet tall. But in the series,
more
he's only
taller,
like
the
14
better?
feet.
But do you know by meters?
Meters in the series, he's 4.2 meters, but in real life, he would. I'm not sure. I don't follow meters.
4.2
Sounds
meters.
like
Okay,
that.
so there is a big disadvantage for Palkia. Palkia's 4.2 meters.
But this is in the anime itself.
Oh, we're going based off of the anime. We're not going extra things. Just go straight fact. There's nothing like. Just go based straight on facts. So if he's 4.2 meters, Shin Godzilla is 118 meters. Right there is like a huge disadvantage. Now, tell me facts of why Palkia could defeat Shin Godzilla.
Okay, space. If at any will in time, Palkia could just send Shin Godzilla into a black hole. Now, what is black holes? What is the description of a black hole? It's whenever a star explodes and then light is gone, right? So anything that enters a black hole cannot exit it. And I believe that Shin Godzilla does not stand a chance against Palkia. Now, in if you don't mind, I'm gonna read another description of it. This is from Heartgold and Soul Silver. Those are games. It says its total control over the boundaries of space enables it to transport itself to faraway places or even other dimensions. So at any point, it could also teleport Shin Godzilla into any other dimension at its own will. It has the power to do so, and I believe that Shin Godzilla doesn't stand a chance. But if it wasn't for him being the god of space, definitely Shin Godzilla could win. But at this point, it's like nothing.
Okay. Well, do you want to add anything to that, Deagle?
I can add something to that, but it has its pros and cons.
Just
Now,
go ahead.
Description for black hole: a region of space having gravitational fields so intense that no matter or radiation can escape it. Godzilla's main source of power being its radiation is strong, but we can't forget Godzilla's own unique ability, self-mutation.
There you
On
go.
Wikipedia, it actually said Godzilla is the most evolved creature on the planet, possessing 8 times the genetic information of human beings. Godzilla has a growth span that could actually make him evolve 60 years, which would, well, actually for humans it would take 60 years, but for Godzilla it could take mere moments to evolve into any adaptable situation that he's in.
Okay, so this is based off what Deagle said. This is my counter argument to Pavomis's claim. So yeah, so you're saying he could teleport him to a black hole and just keep on keeping him, like locking him up there, right? Okay, so the fact that Shin Godzilla can change onto whatever he needs to fit the situation, and so I'll prove that he can. Basically, in the beginning of the movie, I said this in the beginning of the video, but I'll just go and restate it so you know what I'm talking about. They do say, one of the biologists I remember did say that he can pretty much evolve into anything. You know, if there's ground, he'll get feet. If there's this, he'll do that. If there's, you know, in general. And I also made a video based on a quote from the movie that, what if Shin Godzilla could fly? And that's pretty much saying, what if he wants to fly? He could. So if he wants to fly, he could fly. Basically, why I'm saying this is at the end of the movie, we see people forming out of Shin Godzilla's tail, right? Now, well, they're not people. I would say humanoids, but obviously based off of humans, because what he sees is what he evolves to. He saw ground, he evolved legs. He saw people, he's trying to generally, biologically speaking, mutate them and make a recreation of another evolvation of it. Now, this is what I want to say. If he sees humans and he can evolve into humans, then doesn't that mean he could remake himself into Palkia?
You know, the technical term for that would be humanoid fledglings off of his tails, but continue.
Yeah, exactly. But, so, if he could do that, then this fight is Palkia versus Palkia. Maybe even stronger. No one even knows what Shin Godzilla is capable of yet. The amount of generations of evolvation this thing has is that they say he is the most evolved creature on the planet, has the most best cell structure and everything, and we don't know what his power holds because the first movie does not tell us anything. Yet the first movie, he's still a baby. He still has so much time to evolve, and him being the fact to make whatever he wants to, he can pretty much become Palkia and just defeat himself, maybe even making an even stronger version of Palkia. What do you guys think?
Mr. Yeah, you kind of contradict your own explanation. You said we don't know what Shin's actually capable of yet because we haven't seen fully.
Yeah, I know. I said not
that,
capable. I said possibly making an even stronger one.
Yes, there is that, but again, it's contradiction. From what you're saying, based off of your theory, Shin Godzilla could match and adapt to anything he sees. Physical looks. We don't know if Shin Godzilla is actually capable of copying a time and space manipulation ability. That kind of goes above the borders of what we know he's actually capable of.
Well, the reason I say that, the reason I'm saying that is because in the movie they say he is the most advanced creature on this planet. So I'm sure he could have something with that. There's a reason they're saying that. But yeah, that's why I'm saying it. It's not. I'm not just saying it out of the top of my head. I have the stuff to prove that what I'm saying.
Well, again, from what I said before, his growth can occur at times at 60 years faster than it would for like natural humans. Going into what you're saying, adding both him gaining those abilities and evolving, that would have to be a major evolutionary process which would take Shin a large amount of time. And if he's in the middle of a fight, he doesn't have time to evolve to that rapid point where he could actually develop.
Yeah, that right there would be, that falls into the category of him like falling asleep, you know, when he's like cooling down. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, for one, I'd like to point out the black hole thing again. Black holes, okay, I know you're saying adapt to its environment, but you can't really adapt to a black hole.
Well,
yeah,
according
that is actually
well, I mean, I'm going off the movie. They say he could do anything, but
wait, Mr. Deagle, I mean, yeah, Deagle Lance. Could you please say that thing you mentioned where it's like it could evolve, but it's gonna be like a circle or something? Like, what was that thing again?
All right, my theory before we actually got started this debate, I actually debated on the theory. Say Palkia did transport Shin Godzilla into a black hole. Shin Godzilla's self-mutation would constantly be trying to heal itself from being ripped apart. A place where people or things, especially anything, disappear without trace. That's the definition of a black hole. Shin Godzilla would basically be reduced to a giant lump of mass, black mass, keep trying to reforming itself over and over throughout the rest of its time period. And yet the black hole is constantly ripping it apart. The light, the radiation, all of it's being stripped apart, and Shin Godzilla is constantly trying to rebuild it. He's going to be stuck in that type of, well, cycle for the rest of the time he's stuck in a black hole. That's basically what I would believe.
And another thing I'd like to point out is that Palkia has the power, one of its abilities are called pressure, and what that does is I don't know if Deco Dance has seen this before, but in the game, what it does is it pretty much, if we convert it into real life, logistics, I mean, it would pretty much cut Shin Godzilla's power in half. And another thing is that it has its other ability is telepathy, and that will be able to make it communicate with other beings. And as far as I see, Palkia has allies and Shin Godzilla doesn't. And another thing is, since it has telepathy, it could also help. It could also call on Dialga, its rival, and what Dialga could do is.
Well, no. We're not gonna do that. He's not. No, just
Okay,
straight
yeah.
up fact. Yeah.
Okay,
Straight
yeah,
up fighting.
yeah,
Only
yeah.
them.
Okay, yeah, my bad. So yeah, that pressure thing, it cuts it in half, and in theory, now I know that this is gonna cause some head pain for people, but can technically Palkia send into a wormhole? Wouldn't that kind of like, cause then Shin Godzilla's gonna constantly go through time, and theoretically, from what science states, it will keep on being reverted back into that a tiny worm or whatever that thing is. I'm sorry, it's very earlier stages. Yeah, that thing. And yeah, so I honestly, by looking at this, I don't think Shin Godzilla has a chance. Now maybe people will disagree with me on this because, you know, biased opinion, and I'm not saying that my opinion's biased either, but I'm taking this more as a factual type of video. Yeah. Alright, continue.
Okay, and just to think, ask real EA, who do you think, on a standpoint based off all the facts, who do you think has a bigger chance of defeating?
I went on the side of the Palkia earlier, but maybe this time it's the Godzilla, because seems a bit stronger from what I've heard. So,
Alright, and
different facts kind of add up.
And one more thing, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, and Palkia's special move, and I know Deagle Rant has, because he's played the games before, his special move, Special Rend, what that does, the user tears the foe along with the space around it. This move has a high critical hit ratio. So, you know how each monster has that one point where it's weakest point? That means this Special Rend will keep on hitting Shin Godzilla into space, and it will keep on hitting its constant weak point. Now, do we know what its weak point is? No. But will Palkia? Probably. Now keep on going.
And one more thing I have to add is, this is based off more of a religion type of thing that they say in the movie. Well, not religion. I would call it mythological thing, since it's not a real movie. It's not a real movie.
Yeah.
Mythological. Yeah, it's being more. They do say, Deagle Rants know this too. They do say Godzilla is a god incarnate.
Okay.
So
I mean, yeah, but then again, Palkia is too. Palkia is he's pretty much known as a space god.
So we can say that since Godzilla is a god incarnate, he could possess the power of a god, and he could possess pretty much a curse of a god.
Okay,
Yeah, hold on. I use Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla is a metaphor, okay? Shin Godzilla is a metaphor for punishment. It's a metaphor for destruction, because what the movie is based on, and I've made a few videos on this and explaining this, you could go check it out, I'll leave a link in the description. It's the Shin Godzilla analysis series. I deeply analyze the movie, but Shin Godzilla's basic meaning, the whole meaning of Shin Godzilla is radiation, war. Stop doing war, because he is the aftermath and he is the destruction of what war causes. And what is war? War is an everlasting effect on humanity and just on living beings itself. So Shin Godzilla being a god incarnate, having the curse of all gods, and him being invincible, they do say he's practically invincible. So even if Palkia is able to teleport him into a black hole and trap him there forever, he technically isn't able to defeat him, because he can never kill him. Shin Godzilla can never die. And the reason I want to say Shin Godzilla can beat Palkia is because Shin Godzilla has all these powers, and yet he's just a baby. What powers will he hold when he is fully grown? That's why I believe that Shin Godzilla can truly take him down. He's just a baby.
I know, but then again, you have to remember the entire space physics and what it could actually do.
Anyways, so we'll leave the rest to the fans. You guys could comment who do you think won. But pretty much, thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.